And welcome back, everyone, to Wizards Pregame. We got Cardo W. Jr. at Capital One Arena this evening for the second time in as many nights. The Washington Wizards will be taking on the Detroit Pistons. This is their fourth and final matchup of the season in their series. On Tuesday, the Jalen Duren led the Pistons to a 130-117 win, giving the Pistons the 2-1 series lead. Buck Harrington had a big night in that one. He had 30 points. The Pistons look to make it two wins in a row, while Washington's losing streak has hit as many as 13. The injury report goes: the Wizards will be without Bilal Coulibaly, Leaky Black, Trey Young, Anthony Davis, Keyshawn George, and Cam Whitmore. The Pistons will be without Cade Cunningham, who we saw get hurt in Tuesday's game. Tuesday night, it was said they left the game with back spasms. This morning, Shams Charania reported that Cunningham will be out for an extended period of time with a collapsed lung. The Pistons will also be without Wendell Moore Jr. and Isaiah Stewart. Cardell, I know you went over some of the keys may be similar. Some of the pieces are changing because of the injuries from Tuesday. What are the keys to the night's game?
Let's start with Jalen Duren. Keep him off the boards. Be more physical with him inside. Limit the paint touches that he gets. Make it hard for him to finish at the rim. We can start right there. Obviously, we know Cade Cunningham. Well, tonight and the near future, every team starting tonight gonna get a heavy dose of Jalen Duren. Rightfully so. He's an all-star. He's elevated his game. He's gonna be the first option. Also, last game, he had 36 to 12, and Cunningham only played 5 minutes. So this team is already used to playing against the Wizards, but also accustomed to playing a little bit without Cade Cunningham. So you can't come in here and take him lightly, even though the Wizards should take nobody lightly with the situation they're in. I'm just kind of going over all the factors of the situation. Denise Jenkins. Again, he loves seeing the Wizards. I think he's motivated. I keep saying it. A lot of guys on the Wizards were picked ahead of him, so to speak, or picked up ahead of him. So it seems like he goes out his way to prove a point. He had 15 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 of 2 from deep, 4 of 9 from the field, 1 turnover last game. He was a big boost off the bench in 21 minutes. More than likely, he's going to probably get that start. If not get that start, he's going to get a chunk of time at point guard. You got to be able to contain him. Bub had a hell of a night offensively, but you got to expect that Denise going to try to elevate his game even more than what he did on Tuesday. So they got to constrain him. The 2-man game with him and Duren, I get it. With his speed, with Denise's speed and his ability to knock down shots from all 3 levels, turn the corner on pick and rolls, fighting around screens from Duren and his big body is not the easiest task, but you got to do it. And communicate. If you can't stay with Denise when he does that, the big got to be ready to hedge out and help. Don't be in drop coverage because Denise it'll look like shoot around, all game, man. So you got to start with those two. And Tobias Harris, he had a cool night. He was chilling, 12, 6, and 5. But with Cade not being here now, I expect him to be more aggressive. 4 of 11, he was just a shot off being 50%. So he was just being a utility guy, just doing a little bit of everything. But with no Cade, I expect him to be more aggressive as well. So you got to keep an eye on him, man. And can't forget about LeVert. He knows how to score. He had 10 points off the bench, 3 of 5, 3 of 4 from deep, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 21 minutes coming off the bench for Detroit. So regardless if Cade is there or not, the Wizards still got their hands tied, so it's a lot of options. But it starts with Duren, and then without Cade, it goes to Jenkins because he's going to have the ball in his hand a lot more. And he's comfortable playing against the Wizards. So start with them two and get to everybody else. If you can contain those two, you give yourself a good chance.
For sure. And like you said, when Jenkins came in, him and Sasser had a really productive night on Tuesday. As you said, with no Cade, there's more leeway. You mentioned the 2 vets and Harris and LeVert. That's what you have vets for. When you mix up folks, they got more room to step in. One thing for Washington, I want to see if they're willing to match Detroit's physicality, because it was something they struggled with for most of the game on Tuesday. You want to Bub got going late in that one, but that physicality, man. Detroit, they live by it, regardless of who's available and who's not. That's not going anywhere. So it makes you see Washington fares a little bit better, or at least deals with it a little bit better this season. But if you had nothing else, those are Cardinals keys for this evening. We'll check in with you guys as always on Wizards Public. Enjoy the game, guys.